Spiritual Christianity, collected from the theological works of Emanuel Swedenborg. Chapter 12. Prefatory Remarks. Paragraph 168. It is intended in the following chapters to show what spiritual truth teaches in relation to the natural world with its space and its time. This will be done in a series of propositions, by the demonstration of which the mind will be gradually led forward until at length, if it be but rightly directed and have sufficient grasp of the thought, it must inevitably be led to the conclusion that the distinct external world of the natural man, a world of realities according to his notion of reality, but which notion makes it a world of fallacies, is a thing altogether impossible. It will be seen that independent of the clear reasons to demonstrate that there can be no such world, and that the attempt to establish such a hypothesis is to build upon the sand, it will be shown that a belief in the facts recorded by Swedenborg utterly precludes such an interpretation of natural phenomena. All this will be submitted to the intelligent reader in the course of the following chapters. Chapter 12. And it's titled, The Scientific States of the Natural Mind are those ultimate states in which the divine order terminates, and there all prior states of the mind coexist as causes in their effects, and there too those causes are lost sight of by him who thinks in space and time, and nothing more than the effects perceived. From Arcana Celestia 5377. There is not anything which can exist and subsist unless it be by correspondency with the greatest man, that is, with heaven, or, what is the same thing, with the spiritual world. And that because it would otherwise have no connection with the state of life prior to itself, and as a consequence it would have no connection with the first, that is, with the Lord. A disconnected form, which would be independent, could not subsist a moment, for its subsistence is the effect of its connection and dependence on him, from whom is all existence, subsistence being a perpetual existence. On this ground it is that there is a correspondency of all things, collectively as well as singularly, not only in man, but throughout the universe. And from Arcana Celestia 5373. The scientific states of the natural mind are the ultimate states of order, and prior states of goodness and of truth must be in the ultimate, that they may exist and may appear in that, the natural sphere. Besides this, all prior states of the mind tend to the ultimate as to their terminations or confines, and there they coexist as causes in their effects, or as superior states of the mind in inferior, which are like vessels to receive them. Such ultimate states are the scientifics of the natural mind, and hence it is that the spiritual world terminates in man's natural mind. And in this, those states of goodness and truth, which belong to the spiritual world, are representatively exhibited. Unless his spiritual states were exhibited representatively in the natural mind, thus by such objects as are in the world, those states could not be comprehended at all. From Arcana Celestia 2991. The natural forms represent spiritual states of the mind, and that they correspond together may be known from this, that the natural mind cannot by any possibility exist except from a cause prior to itself. Its cause is from the spiritual mind, and there is no natural mind which has not this as its cause. Natural forms are effects which cannot appear as causes, and still less as the causes of causes, or principles, but receive their specific forms according to their use in their respective places. But yet the forms of effects represent the states of their causes, and these again represent the states of their principles, And thus do all natural forms represent those spiritual states of life to which they correspond, and these again the celestial states from which they originate. From Heaven and Hell, number 89. The whole natural world of sensation corresponds to the spiritual world of thought and affection. Not only the natural world in general, but as to every single object, on which account whatsoever is existing in the natural world from the spiritual, is called a correspondent. It is of importance to know that the natural world exists and subsists from the spiritual altogether as an effect from its efficient cause. The whole of the extent which is beneath the sun and receives heat and light from it is called the natural world, and to this world belong all the forms which subsist from the natural sun. But heaven is the spiritual world, and to that world belong all states of life which are in the heavens. From Arcana Celestia 2994. Man, so long as he is living in the body, can feel and perceive but little of this, for with him celestial and spiritual states of life fall into the natural forms which are in his external man, and there he loses the sensation and perception of them. The representative and correspondent forms which are in his external man are such as not to appear like the states of life in the internal man to which they correspond and which they represent, and therefore they cannot come to his cognizance before he is stripped of these external states of life. From Arcana Celestia 5711. Throughout nature there is not a single thing which can exist unless it have a correspondency with the spiritual world, for without it, it would want a cause for its existence, and as a consequence for its subsistence also. For all things in nature are nothing else but effects, the causes of which are in the spiritual world, and the causes of these causes, which are ends of life, are in the interior heaven. The effect cannot subsist unless the cause be continually in it, for the cause ceasing, the effect must also cease. The effect, considered in itself, is nothing else but the cause, but so extrinsically clothed as to be subservient to the cause by enabling it to act in a lower sphere. What is said here of the effect in relation to its cause is equally true of the cause in relation to its end, for a cause is nothing unless it exists from its cause, which is the end, for a cause without an end is a cause devoid of order, and without order nothing can be effected. From Arcana Celestia 8812. The successive changes of morning, noon, evening and night are in heaven states of life, but in the natural world they are states of time. And they are so because all things in the world are created to be images of the states of life which are in heaven. For natural forms exist from spiritual states as effects from their causes. This is the ground of the correspondency of all things in the world with the states of life which are in heaven, and the reason that universal nature is a theatre representing the Lord's kingdom.